Hey everyone. Welcome back to the channel, it's Teach Me Forex here. Today, I'm diving into the latest Australian dollar to US dollar forecast based on my personal FX analysis. Just a quick reminder, this is all for fun and part of my trading hobby, so please do your own research before making any trading decisions. That said, I've got some interesting insights to share with you today, so let's get into it. First up, let's take a look at what's been happening with Australian dollar to US dollar. Over the past few days, we've seen a bit of a drop in the pair's value, with the AUD hitting as low as 1.0863. However, based on my analysis, I'm expecting some stabilization ahead, potentially leveling out around 1.0907. Keep in mind, this is just my personal take, not professional advice, but it's always fun to see how these forecasts might play out. Now, let's talk about some of the key factors that are influencing the markets today. The big thing everyone's watching today is the release of the US durable goods orders for July. This is a really important indicator because it gives us insight into how the US manufacturing sector is doing. If the data comes in strong, we could see the USD strengthen. On the flip side, if the data is weaker than expected, the USD might lose some ground, and that could help push the AUD higher. Next up is the Federal Reserve. There's been a lot of speculation that the Fed might shift to a more dovish stance soon. If the recent FOMC minutes are anything to go by, the Fed could be leaning towards easing its policy if future economic data supports that move. A more dovish Fed could weaken the USD, which might create some interesting opportunities in the Australian dollar to US dollar pair. On the Australian side of things, the RBA has maintained a pretty hawkish tone. Governor Michelle Bullock recently reiterated that the central bank is willing to raise interest rates further if inflation pressures persist. This could provide some support for the AUD, especially with fears of a US recession starting to ease. Don't forget about commodities, especially iron ore, since Australia is a major exporter. Lately, iron ore prices have been easing, and we're also seeing a bit of a dip in global risk appetite. These factors could weigh on the AUD, despite the RBA's hawkish stance. So, it's a bit of a balancing act between economic data, central bank policies, and commodity prices. To wrap things up, my forecast sees some stabilization in the Australian dollar to US dollar pair in the coming days. But as always, external factors like global events and economic data can really shake things up. Just remember, this is all based on my own hobby analysis, it's not professional trading advice, but it's always fun to break down the numbers and see where the markets might be heading.